Alright, we watched Knights of the Damned. So now, we watch Dragon Kingdom, which, of course, is a German copy. Because that's just always the way. They're the ones that have the Blu-rays for some reason. Especially for, like, obscure films that no one's fucking heard of. With, like, this one. I originally... Because I got this one... pretty cheap age, like a year and a half ago or something. And then I was like, shit, it's got a sequel. And I always like to do two films at a time, so it's like, well, I feel like I'm gonna have to get the sequel and watch them both at the same time, because I do two films at the same time, it makes perfect sense. So yeah, Dragon Kingdom continues on straight after the first one. There will be spoilers. Like I said with the last film, it's not worth watching. It just really isn't. I don't think it's not. It doesn't fall into the category of, like, so bad it's good. Like, it's competent enough that it's just a bit meh. It's a bit average. A bit meh. What I'd say. Like, it's not, it's not that kind of, like, so shaky, dodgy, where you're like, wow, that is terribly good. But it's also just not good in the slightest. So, yeah, I'd say avoid this one. Don't be like me and end up getting a film on cheap and you're like, oh shit, I gotta now buy the Blu-ray copy of this fucking sequel. Yeah, I've got the first one on DVD. Can't seem to find that on Blu-ray, but this is definitely on Blu-ray. Because I have it in my hand, can you not tell? There's no reversible cover like some, so you got the big ass German rating they got there. But yes, Dragon Kingdom. I will say, this does also say it's uncut. If this is the uncut version, this is less than an hour and a half. I call shenanigans. I don't think there's even a cut version. I don't think there's two cuts. This film does not deserve two cuts. It just doesn't. There's no way it has two cuts. Yeah, we continue on with our heroes, who also have the princess with them now, and also, I guess, also the, like, strong warrior women they have with them. I don't think I mentioned them in the first film. They're kind of there. They don't add too much to the plot. Like, they just kind of save our heroes a couple of times in the first film. And they're also kind of there in this one. But they're a lot of them to die. Yeah, we end up basically in a village that's... Well, we get a recap of the first film, then we end up in a village that's kind of been overrun by zombies. Though they're kind of in hiding, and our heroes do fight them. And then all of a sudden, out of no fucking where, the fucking villagers go, "Hey, we're also here!" And you're like, the fuck were you hiding before these people just showed up? What the fuck? And obviously we meet the guy who got he got embarrassed by being thrown to the floor by the warrior woman in the first film, and then also in that film his girlfriend got eaten. He's not the best pleased with dragons. Also, this one, I don't recall a lot of it. It's just so bland and boring. It's just, there are zombies. It's just one of the things where I'm just like, this film, we get a bit more dragons, a little bit more zombies, but yeah, we see the father of the prince, the evil prince, and the princess is with our group. He's not the best pleased with his son, because, I mean, obviously, his son's a prick, and yeah, we also see his dragon egg, because, and then it's kind of, I'll be honest, the middle of the film very much drags, and there's not a whole lot, and it's mostly our heroes kind of traveling until they meet, I don't know, a lizard man who has, I think, the Furies. And then they kind of get trapped, and then there's just a lot of fighting. But like I said, this film is basically a midquel. Like, nothing really happens. I guess the warrior women do kind of betray them, and so that's kind of a thing. But then we have basically goblins and a man who's a lizard. I guess it's hard to tell. They're basically a bunch of people in very cheap morph suits. There's a guy who with the kind of orc-like man with a disfigured face, a kind of minotaur. It's just whatever the fuck I guess they could find. It's one of those things where I'm just like, none of this really like fits together in any way. These bunch of like different random races of things are just like, oh yeah, there we go, that'll do. But yeah, and then ultimately they kind of convinced the lizard man to rise up, and then that's kind of the end of the. Okay, they're called Furies, actually. I'm just looking at the credits right now. The Oracles or Furies. I have both. They are Oracles and Furies. I guess those are. I don't know which one's which. I don't really particularly care. Like I said, nothing really goes because they kind of go, hey, we'll rise up against this evil prince and stuff, and then that's kind of the end of the film. Literally, it's just the end of the film. You're like, oh, because this film was a midquel. It's the second part of a trilogy, but the third part of the trilogy doesn't exist. As far as I can tell, unless I'm completely mistaken, let me just double check. I don't think there is a sequel at all. There's talk of it, but no. Yeah, there is nothing. There's no confirmed release date, which makes me think that's just probably not going to happen. But it doesn't really satisfy like the kind of horror, and it doesn't really satisfy the fantasy. It doesn't really do much, and I'm just like, Oh, I guess the Furies could be the zombies. I mean, they're basically zombies. And then the Oracles? Whatever the fuck that is, I don't care. Basically, they're just kind of orcs, but they're basically just morph suits. It's just not good. Because it ultimately doesn't go anywhere. You're like, cool, you set up the thing, and then it's like, cool, yeah, we did make a third one. Now, this came out in 2020, so I don't know if COVID had effect, but surely that was the case. I mean, maybe COVID happened, and they ran out of funding over that time, because a lot of stuff went out of business around that time. Especially film studios and that, because they're like, we can't do anything. Anyway, we're out of business. It happens. But yeah, don't recommend it. I bought it cheap, and I still kind of go, nah. They do have some bonus features on there, which is nice. Sometimes even these ones you're like, oh, almost fucking nothing. They at least have some bonus features. Some 5-minute behind the scenes, some bloopers. Meh. Like I said, it doesn't really satisfy the kind of fantasy aspect. It doesn't really satisfy the horror aspect. It looks a bit cheap and a bit rubbish. And the story's just not there either. Like, I can forgive a shitty a story that's a bit meh if like it looks good, but it doesn't. Yeah, or I can, if the story's good, I can be like, yeah, you know what? that's fine, but no, it's not good. I wouldn't recommend it. And I think that's me signing off. Yeah, I haven't really got anything else to say about this film. So I'm going to sign off. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing next in the horror. I'll have a rummage in my collection, see what I've got. I did pick up some Visual Vengeance films. Those ones are calling to me, so I might pull out one of those next. But we'll see. Might have a look in my collection. I've got some horror that I've just not touched, and they'll be fun to watch. But for now, I say to you all, live long and prosper, and we'll see you next time for some other horror film. Whatever it is, I look forward to it. See you then.